to what Arty Noobs for general disturbance. This is the KV-2. It's the Tier 6 Soviet heavy tank. It's located on the south spawn of Prokhorovka, and it's under the command of Alephus of FARTR. And he's got the standard vents, standard improved aiming, and also a rammer. Game on! Well, I suspect you've also noticed something else. 3 marks of excellence on the barrel. Yes, he's an expert when it comes to playing the KV-2, Stalin's monster. It's basically a KV-1 with an enlarged turret on top, and that actually did slow it down quite a bit because the original one was much faster. This one, 35 kilometers an hour maximum speed. Now, like the KV-1, it's got the same sort of armament. In terms of, well, armor rather I should say. The armament is different though. The KV-1s usually had a 76mm main gun. This one has the M10, which is a howitzer capable, well, it's 152mm in caliber, and it's capable with premium rounds of doing 700 alpha, with the non-premium rounds 700, and with the HE rounds 910 alpha. And 86mm of pen with that HE. As you can see, Alephus is treating this heavy tank slightly differently. And in fact, shells are approaching or landing. I think, did he knock something down there? Oh, he did knock down a hay bale. So he's taking a rather an unusual position. Normally, heavy tanks will stay down low, but he's actually gone very high. Now, he does have 2 platoon mates in this game, a Hellcat and a T-3485. The Hellcat's out in the field. The T-3485 is looking down the road, along the road, and the first target's turned up. And is dead. Already wiped out. Now, you may have noticed he's using the premium rounds. Now, they do have a lot of penetration. There's 136mm of pen with them. With the standard AP, it's only 110. But I have seen players do extreme games with the armor piercing. In fact, I've seen players in a KV-2 in a Tier 8 game, and they're wiping out Tier 10, Tier 8 tanks. And he's got his second kill. This time, took out the Super Chappie. Now, those guys are picking up the spotting down below. The BT-42 Jat Kosoka, I think it's the correct name for it. It's actually a BT-7 with a 4.5-inch howitzer as its main armament. Oh! Now, that is very lucky for the KV-222, who happens to have a Tier 7 hull. But he managed to block that shot from penetrating. But he might not block another one, and we're almost loaded. Standard reload, 23.01 seconds. He's going to go for the KV-2, or the AT-2 rather. Changes his mind. The KV-220's gone down. And he fires at the AT-2, but we don't know if he struck it. He needs somebody on his team to spot for us. Okay, he's going to hit the M4 Sherman instead, and that guy is moving. He locked on, but the guy pulls back. Can we get a shot? Yep, and he's out the game. So that's 3 kills now for Alephus. Now, I did say the standard reload, 23.01 seconds, and we'll find out any second how much he's actually got. 19.73, so it's a little bit faster. Just over 3 seconds faster. Now, the thing is, at this moment, we've just lost one of our platoon mates. The T-3485 just got wiped out by an IKV-652, who's up ahead. Now, he's got a 90mm gun, so we really don't want him to spot us, because he would easily penetrate our armor. But Alephus is actually in a very good position up here, because those bushes just ahead of us are blocking their spotting, and they really wouldn't expect a heavy tank to be up here. We're still down by 1. It looks like we've lost the hill now. And we're not getting many more spots on this side of the battlefield, even though we know there's an AT2 up there and a VK3002M. We also know there's an M6 over by the railway line. Oh, this is better. There's the VK, and he's on the move. Just missed him. He should have led that target a little, and we've lost our BT-42. The BT-42 is much like the BT-7 artillery on steroids. Of course, it's the same gun that's on the FV304, but of course it was actually built, but it's not very good. Okay, they're coming on, so are we going to destroy the Type 64? Oh, we got spotted. Well, we have to pull back, but there's no Arty, so we're not expecting an Arty round coming our way, but we are expecting these shells to come our way, and these guys are definitely trying to get one over on us. He's moving to a position. What he doesn't want to do is get hit because his armor's so thin, it would go right through him. Still letting the premium shells. Here he is. It's a difficult shot. He's just over the other side of that ridge line in the bowl, moving backwards and forwards. So although our T-3485M can see him, the unfortunate thing is we can't spot him because he's just over the edge of the bowl. They're also being very cautious now that they know that there's a KV-2 up here shooting down at them, and they can probably see from the scoreboards that Alephus has got 3 kills. And so they really don't want to get hit by one of these 152mm rounds. We do have a KV-2 playlist, actually. If you want to see that game where the KV-2 did all the kills and he didn't get that one in, if you want to see that replay, it's in the playlist, and it was around about the time of COVID in 2020, and you'll notice that all the tanks were yellow. Yes, because we had a special skin made up which looks like a quarantine sign. In fact, actually it was at the time, especially made by Rusty. Oh my gummy, blocked that shot. That's very unusual. But yes, Sir Rusty made a special skin, and we did a whole load of coronavirus replays featuring the KV-2. Everybody was at home playing their games instead of going out to work, and as we were all in lockdown. And so, yes, we made up a special skin just to help people enjoy themselves. Okay, here he comes again. He's still in the dip, but he'll pop out of the dip if he comes right up to the edge. Oh, he's going right the way over to the other side. Okay, I'm wondering if he's going to do that and start blind firing at us from where we can't see him because he's outside render range. Our T-34 is going up to have a quick look, see if he can spot the guy. No, he pulls back. Can't see anything. We thought that we'd lost the hill, but our guys redeployed. And in fact, they went up onto the hill and they've taken it back from the enemy. We're 1 up on the enemy now. The surprising thing is that the enemy has a KV-2R, which is a premium KV-2. He has got a kill, but he hasn't really taken that much part in the battle. So maybe he's not an expert player, because of course that is a premium tank which earns extra XP and extra credits. Alephus pops up to have a quick look. If the Type 64 is down there somewhere, he should be able to spot us. But for the fact that we're probably nicely snuggled in behind those bushes, and it's difficult for them to see us. Oh, the IKV-65-2 just got spotted. Okay, the auto-aim gone. And we hit him in the tracks. Looks like he fixed his tracks. We got track damage off him. So even though that shell didn't penetrate, it tracked the guy, and somebody else, probably the Type T-34, decided to put a round in. Okay, KV-2, 82 rather I should say, and there's the IKV. Go for the IKV. Yep, got him. The IKV is the 90mm armed tank. If you hit that one and take him out of the game, that's a major worry for us. Gone. The AT2, he doesn't have nearly as big a gun. But we can see the KV-2R now, and there's the AT2. He's on fire, and now he's out the game. That's 5th kill for Alephus. 5th kill. So only 4 enemies remaining now. As far as we can tell, the Type 64 is on this side and the KV-2R. The VK-3002M and, well, actually, the Type 64 has been seen on the other side of the battlefield, I should say. And as far as we can make out at the moment, he's outside render range, but the VK-3002M is in sight of our M10 RBFM. Our platoon mate in the Hellcat is spotting for us directly up the road. So if the KV-2R tries to come south, we'll nail him. But to be honest, I don't think he will come south. And in fact, I think the Hellcat can actually move up the road. And there's so many dead tanks on the road that he could hop from dead tank to dead tank, using them for cover. We're also getting close to the end of the game. 3 minutes to go. One more kill and Alephus will pick up his top gun. And in fact, there's so many enemies still alive, he could actually get a Radley's. But of course, he can't get a Pools medal because, of course, there's only 4 left. And he's got 5. So, yes, you'd only get 9 kills. He's saying, I can't move, but here we go. And he does. He tanks the rear of the Type 64. He did take a round from the VK, who managed to snap one in. In fact, he's got 2 in. And yeah, we do need to pull back. In fact, now we're bouncing rounds off the roof. It's a wise decision to pull back. I don't think that the VK can see us anymore. So we pull forward. But if we look along the position where we think he is, we've marked the ground to say that's where we think he is. Only 3 enemies remaining. They've lost their guy with the best scout, the Type 64. He's the best light. In fact, the only light in the game now. And there goes the VK. We did get spotted, but he tagged him on the rear. He didn't lead the target a huge amount, but then one of these rounds hitting the rear of a VK is bound to go through. And now we can see in the distance an IKV-103, and he's tier 5. And that hit his tracks. And the IKV did go down, so he has been wiped out. That leaves just the KV-2R as the last remaining enemy with just 1 minute 13 seconds left on the clock. So he might as well make a move and quickly drive into enemy territory to find the guy. Now, yes, he could get wiped out with 1 shot, landing in the wrong spot. He has been spotted. That means the KV-2R is probably in the tree line down below, not up in the corner where he was before. And in fact, yes, there he is. We've auto-aimed on, let it dial in, and then fire. He auto-aimed on. And he gets him! With only 33 seconds left on the clock, Alephus gets the last kill and, of course, a Radley's. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was an ace tanker game for Alephus of FARTR in the KV-2. He managed to get a FARTR effect for doing more damage than hit points for his own vehicle, Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits, in fact he got 7. He got a Radley Waters medal for killing 8 enemy tanks, and he killed 8 exactly, as well as a high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game, and the top gun for getting at least 6 kills. His win rate from that game was 14,472, which is super unicum and a lot higher, and a lot of the tanks that he actually hit, he wiped out with just one shot. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, we can see the highest damage was 3,807 hit points of damage. That went to Alephus. Second highest was that VK3002M. Yes, he was very dangerous. That guy got 1,454. And in third place, the KV-2R on the enemy team got 1,427. When it came to kills, Alephus got that one as well. 8 kills to him. 2 kills went to the T1 on his own team, the VK3002M on the enemy team, the IKV-65-2, and the P43 on the enemy team. And the P43 got his Aslains medal, so he was tier 5 in a tier 6 game and got 2 tier 6 kills. When it came to base XP, yes, Alephus has got that, so he's got the top in all 3 columns. 1,308, it means he's the only player to get over 1,000 base in the game. 971 went to the BT42 Jakatosa. I think it is, if I remember correctly. He got a patrol duty in that game. And the same was true for the Type 64 on the enemy team. Yes, the BT42 got 971. The M4 Sherman got 775. He fired 15 rounds. Only 13 of those actually were direct hits on the enemy tank, and 8 penetrated. He did hit the tracks quite a few times on enemy tanks. 3,807 hit points of damage, of which 2,590 were at more than 300 meters. He received 3 hits from the enemy. All of them came from that VK3002M, and 2 penetrated. 1 non-penetration hit the top of the roof of the turret. 135 hit points of damage blocked by armor. 1 enemy vehicle spotted, 9 enemy vehicles damaged, 8 killed, and he got 143 hit points of damage assistance in the game. On a premium count, he actually made a loss in this game, 20,342 credits, and it's all down to the ammunition. You see, those premium AP are very expensive, and of course, he was using it almost exclusively to nuke those shells. And I can tell you, if you watch that tier 8 game from the Arctic region map, I think it is, you'll see why they are expensive. You can take out tier 8 tanks with the premium AP, so it is worthwhile buying them and spending them to actually get huge results. He also picked up 1,962 experience points out of that game as well, so it was thoroughly worthwhile on that sense. And the game, well, you can see 14 minutes 29 seconds, so it was going down to the wire. Hope you enjoyed that replay. It certainly was interesting to me to see somebody actually go up into a tank destroyer position with a huge, great heavy tank and rain down fire on the enemy and knock them out one by one. If you enjoyed this replay, please give it a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm, and thank you for watching.